Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we are going to see a very important and interesting case happened in Indian stock market. Any finance students or someone is interested in stock market must know about this case. And this case was the instrument behind implementing many rules and regulations by SEBI or the finance ministry with respect to investments. So let's get into the scam. The picture showing the person called as Harshak Mehta. He was the center point of this scam. Who was born in the year 1954, grew up in Raipur, and started his career in the field of New India Assurance as a sales guy. In the year 1980, he quit his job and joined the stockbroker. His name is P. Ambalal, who was affiliated himself with Bombay Stock Exchange that time. Later in the year 1981, Mehta migrated from this company to the another company which is stockbroker, whose name is J.L. Shah and Nandalal Sheth. In fact, Mehta was acting as a sub-broker of this stockbrokers. Once he gained enough experience, Mehta along with his brother, his name is Sudhir, both of them started a new company called Grow More Research and Asset Management Company Limited. Soon, Mehta started buying and selling shares on behalf of this asset management company. Very soon, his name became very popular in this Indian stock market. The problem actually started when Mehta started buying shares of Associated Cement Company. Abbreviation is very famous, known as ACC Cements. He was the instrument behind increasing the share price of this ACC Cements from 200 rupees to 9,000 rupees approximately. Think about the price hike from 200 rupees to 9,000 rupees, which is unimaginable. For our understanding purpose, the percentage of changes is almost 4,400 percentage of price hike. Even now investor is thinking about increasing by 5 percentage, 10 percentage margin, but he was the person who has achieved 4,400 percentage hike. At the same time, Mehta was able to convince the reason behind the high price level with a concept called as replacement concept, which is yet another theory in the investment management, which is called as replacement theory or replacement cost theory. As per this theory, a whole company should be marked or evaluated or valuated only based on the amount of money which is required to produce another similar company at par with this. And this is called as replacement cost theory. Soon, people started calling Mehta as the big bull or Amitabh Bachchan of Indian stock market, as he was the instrument in running the stock market from one place to the higher level one. As he was doing this, he was also, apart from ACC Cements, he also bought few other shares from different industries. As a result of it, the Sensex is moved from 1000 plus point to 4500 plus points. However, this strategy of Harshak Mehta did not hold good for a longer period of time and was soon exposed to the market. The obviously the Sensex have dived back at the same rate at which it reached its peak value. Thus, the scandal of Harshak Mehta came into the public. Harshak Mehta was declared to be guilty of the crime he has committed, the verdict given by Bombay High Court as well as the Supreme Court. The amount of scandal he involved is huge amount which we cannot able to imagine at the period of 1992. The amount was 4,999 crore. Just think about the value of money at present. This is unimaginable. The all issue was happened in Bombay Stock Exchanges. The scam details was clearly explained by the veteran writer Sucheta Dalla, who was in Times of India at that time. She was explained with the concept of ready forward deal. Actually, the ready forward deal is a fortified loan given from one bank to the another bank for a short period of time, let's say 15 days maximum. In a normal case, bank lend money against government securities, where bank is borrowing, gives away the security to the lending bank at a very high interest rate and get back to the securities at the end of tenure or loan period. In a ready forward deal, the broker acts as intermediary to bring both the banks together and they get a commission for it. This was the one I was talking about. Between the bank, someone is acting as an intermediary. They will try to connect these two banks. Invariably, they are collecting securities and cash on behalf of them and finally carry forward that money. In Mehta's case, both the securities and the money was transferred to the Mehta, who was an instrumental or maybe who was the intermediate between the banks. The Mehta received both the securities as well the cash from the banks. In this case, the Mehta's firm was very clever. They make sure that both the parties did not know each other or did not know their identity each other. Mehta also used another tool, which is bank receipt, which was given by the seller to the buyer, establishing the sale of securities and a solemn promise to give the security to the buyer. Thus, in due course, the securities are held in the seller's trust by the buyer. Harshak Mehta used this method where he located two banks, namely the Bank of Karat, which is placed in Mumbai, and the Metropolitan Cooperative Bank, shortly called as MCB, who are ready to give counterfeit bank receipts without any government securities. Using these fake bank receipts, Mehta was able to borrow money from different banks, thinking that they were lending it against government securities. Mehta used the money, thus got into the way to elevate the price of a share in stock market. The shares were then sold in the significant profit and the banker's receipt were written on due time. Harshak Mehta used this technique, causing a huge increase in price of stock. However, many banks soon realized that they were holding fake bank receipt which was of no use at all. But however, by then, Mehta was smart enough to scam the bank at amount nearly 4,000 crores. Once the scam was brought into light and taken to parliament, Harshak Mehta was immediately arrested and taken to the prison. Thus, Mehta was charged with 72 criminal offences and more than 600 civil action suits. The arrest was on November 9, 1992. Along with Mehta, his brother was also arrested for this crime. On December 31st, 2001, Mehta passed away as a result of heart attack. It was only after a period of 9 years of Harshak Mehta death that the public sector banks and income tax department have regained the remarkable and net worthy amount of the assets after liquidation. Harshak Mehta properties and assets were attacked to repay the scam amount, thereby making a payment of rupees 1995.66 crore for IT department and 1999.25 crore to the State Bank of India. This happened nearly after 9 years of death of Harshak Mehta. In fact, the total principal amount of SBI, which was about 1000 crore, had been largely settled by Mehta's group. See the kind of the actions Mehta did. He understood the loopholes in the financial market, especially banks. He was trying to misuse everything, and of course he did excellently and took the financial market from one place to the different level. At one point of time, there are people who would like to appreciate Mehta's effort as a businessman, but what he did was entirely an unethical one. The case ends here, but still I'm opening few discussion questions for you to think about that. Number one, what do you think the mistakes done by the banks who are involved in this scam, knowingly or unknowingly? Just think about that. What kind of mistakes they have committed? Second one, what are the regulatory mechanisms to be implemented in future to avoid such scams? We do have a regulatory mechanism for stock market, a giant called as SEBI. So what kind of regulatory mechanism to be implemented in future to avoid such type of scams? Third one, after that incident which happened in 1992, what are the changes have been implemented by SEBI? Right? So I have three questions for you. One is the mistakes done by the banks. Second one is precautionary effort to be taken to avoid such kind of scams in future. Third one, what exactly SEBI did after this case? This is a very, very beautiful case to be discussed for the financial students, especially in the investment management paper. And I am closing the sessions, opening the three questions for you to think about that. So, thank you. Keep me posted for any clarifications required. Bye.